Hello neighbors, it's Brad here at eTrailer, and today we're taking a look and installing the Optronics 3-diode LED license plate light. Now your license plate light is one of those lights that maybe it doesn't seem like a safety function, but this is something that's DOT required, and really if having one of these that's burnt out causes you to get pulled over and slow your journey down, you can simply fix it with this LED. It's also going to give it a fresh look on the license plate with that bright white LED light. Now this entire housing is sealed, so this is going to work on your boat trailers as well, as it can be fully submersible. So that means if it's out in the elements, as many trailers are, it's going to hold up to that rain, snow, or whatever comes at it for a long time. Now if you are planning on putting this on your trailer, having the dimensions is going to make that a lot easier to actually kind of find a spot for it. So overall this is going to be 2 3/4 inches long by 1 7/8 wide and 2 inches deep. Now the light is 1.5 inches long and 1/2 inch tall. And the install of this is extremely easy, and within just maybe about 15 minutes you can have a fresh looking license plate light that's going to keep you safe and legal over time while towing. Here's our existing license plate light, and as you can tell it has seen better days. So not only are we going to be replacing it, but we're also going to be upgrading to LED, which is just going to give us a longer lifespan. It's going to be more efficient, and overall it's just a better light source, and that way it can actually illuminate your plate a little bit better. We'll start by removing our old one, and yours may be different, but ours just has 2 Phillips head screws. Looks like some self-tapping ones, and we'll just take those out. As you can see, the hardware has also seen better days here. Now if yours is completely rusted out, you may have to drill yours out, so this is a great time to be replacing it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and separate it. We have just a quick splice connector, so we'll just peel this back and get this separated, and just make sure we keep track of this wire because we'll be attaching to it. So now we can pull our old light out. And kind of looking at the design of this, we have 2 studs here, so that's going to be simple to just drill some holes and mount it up. But I want to make sure it's aligned with the license plate, so I'm going to be closing our tailgate here just to make sure that this is aligned. And I'm going to go and just kind of clean this up, and might as well while we have this off, that way it has a nice clean seal. And since this is going to be a little bit smaller than the footprint before, I'm just going to backfill the holes with some black silicone, and then I'm going to just put some quick gloss white spray paint here just to kind of make it look a little bit cleaner. Now depending on your application, it might mount over, but being an enclosed trailer, ours is going to be on the side here, so whatever works best for you. But we are going to have to drill to get a hole here for our stud, and there's also not hardware included here to get that mounted up, so you're going to want to pick up 2 1024 nuts. I also have some split washers and a flat washer. That way when we get it in place we can tighten that up. But we need to get this marked of where we want to mount it, so I'm going to put it right about here to cover up our existing hole. And in order to get our marks made to where we want to drill, I'm just going to take a paint marker here, and I'm just going to cover the ends, put in some paint, and that way we can transfer it over to exactly where we need. Now that I have my marks, I can go ahead. I might actually be able to reuse this hole, and then we'll just go ahead and get our other one drilled out. I'm just using a 13/64 drill bit, and that's going to be just large enough to get our studs through. So now I'm just going to test fit to make sure our holes are lining up, and I think that's going to sit well. Now also we have our wires that are in the middle here, so we're going to have to make a hole for those as well. And you'll see they have bullet style connectors. We're going to be tying into our wiring here, and we don't have bullet pin connectors on the other end, so I'll probably snip these off. It's also going to make it a lot easier to pass these wires through. Now again, the hardware does not come with the kits, but I am putting a flat washer and a split washer here, and then our 1024 nut, and that's going to really cinch this up, keep it in place for the lifespan of the light. So now we're going to take our black wire and connect it with our existing wire where our other license plate light was attached. and I'm just going to be using a butt connector here. This is an enclosed trailer, so it shouldn't see any elements, but if you're installing a license plate light on any of your other trailers that it might actually be outside, I suggest using a heat shrink butt connector, and those are really nice because once they're crimped down you can heat it up and it's going to seal around the edges, and that way your connection doesn't get water in it and become brittle and a bad connection over time. So we have that connection made. Now we need to grab our white wire, and we're just going to be attaching a ring terminal to this. Again, it's not included in the kit, but you just want a solid grounding point. So I'm going to reuse where this ground is here, so putting our ring terminal on will make it a nice and easy install there. Now if you don't have an existing ground, you can just use a self-tapping screw and you can tie into the metal. So now testing it's going to be easy. You're just going to want to hook it up to your vehicle and turn the running lights on, and it should kick on. And we can see it's illuminating quite well. And that was a look and installation of the Optronics 3 LED license plate light.